Alright, so Birdemic, right? This movie might be one of the worst movies ever filmed, ever released in this world, alright? First, I'm gonna talk about the intro. The intro section is almost 4 minutes long. I'm not even lying to you. It's just 4 minutes of just constant, I don't know. Just, is 4 minutes of the movie wasted? You could do 4 minutes of information or something, but no. They do 4 minutes of whatever this is. But 4 minutes of just the screen changing is crazy. This is one of the longest intro sections that I've ever seen. Besides probably the Amazing Spider-Man. Because I'm pretty sure it's one of the Spider-Man movies that has a really long intro. Alright, there's also a weird interaction in this movie. In a dining scene, this man runs out, talks to this girl. He's like, oh, I used to know you back in English class. Really? Yes, I don't remember you. They part ways. Like 5 seconds later, he runs up behind her talking about Natalie. I don't know why he just didn't do this from the jump. Talking about, oh, can I talk to you later on? Or something like that. Yes. And yeah, that's just a weird scene altogether, because why didn't he just do this from the jump? Right after that scene, they're talking about the population of the seagulls going down because they're hurting themselves, and the population of the polar bears are going down because the ice is melting, so they have to go up north because they can't find whatever they need to eat. And I don't think they pick up on this scene at all throughout the whole movie. I know they talk about the birds because, you know, the birds are the whole point of the movie, but what is this point for? And then after this, they do some type of driving scene where it's 3 minutes of this man driving for whatever reason. He drives, puts in gas. This part is just filler. They could easily cut down this part of the whole entire movie. 3 minutes long, so they're just doing it to run up the runtime to make it an hour and 33 minutes. It's a waste of time. This doesn't need to be in a movie. The next thing is the film looks horrendous. It looks like every single scene in this movie is filmed on a green screen because of the layer. When you're watching a 3D movie and you need 3D glasses and you take them off, this is what the movie looks like. Don't know why they did this. They shouldn't have put this movie out. I'm not gonna lie to you. Is this man Rod somehow gets Natalie's number? They're in the same parking lot. He somehow gets her number. She's like, who's this? So this is evidence that she just didn't have his number. She never gave him her number. Unless she did give him the number in the beginning of the movie. I don't know, because audio is terrible in this movie, so I just didn't understand anything they were talking about. But, so he either, back in the day, back in high school, he either looked at her number whenever she wrote it down on a piece of paper and copied that number for number and then somehow saved it up to this very moment to call her. Or he's a stalker. It's not my words, it's in the movie. Alright, the next thing I'm gonna talk about is this awkward phone call between Natalie, this businesswoman, because Natalie's a model in the movie. You can tell that the phone call didn't happen at the same time because it's just chopped up. A piece of dialogue, pause, piece of dialogue, pause, so it's not seamless. You know how people talk, yeah, and then switch, yeah. No, it's like, yeah. It's alright. The basketball scene in this movie is so weird. Rod does 3 crossovers, shoots it. I'm pretty sure he airballed. He might have hit the backboard, but I'm pretty sure this man airballed. I do not know why this part's still in the movie. And then it cuts over, and it's like, oh, I'm so tired. Of course you're gonna be tired doing this. You're airballing. Like, they could have just kept reshooting until he made the shot. But no, they kept the shot of him airballing. Pretty sure that's the only basketball shot in the whole scene. Why did they leave the shot of him airballing? This is just bad. The audio quality is something else in this movie that is low. It's really, really bad. Sometimes it's mid-tier, so you can kind of understand what they're saying. And sometimes you just can't understand what they're saying at all, right? There's a scene where they're in a date or something, right? And she's you don't understand what she's saying. So she could be talking about some important dialogue that we need, some important information about the birds, something. But nah, you don't understand what she's saying. They could have just reshot this scene and had her talk. But no, they're talking on dollar she mics. It sounds like they're underwater, but 10 times worse. I want a piece of scrap metal. I don't know. I'm just gonna calm down. Just calm down. And the green screen and the dancing is also part of this movie that they should really just, I don't know. Because in the date scene, there's like a green screen effect. And I'm pretty sure that they shot this in 2 different scenes. The man is singing and they do close-up shots. So they obviously shoot this. Rod and Natalie are dancing and they have the green screen effect on them the whole time. Unless it's just a bad film production, they just in 2 different scenes. Why they did this, I don't know. They could have just had them shoot at the same time, same day, and had a better green screen. You could tell that they just put it over, edited in Photoshop or something right after. Because it's terrible, okay? It's terrible. They should have just cut this part out or something. After the date night, they go back to Rod's place and they do whatever they need to do because you know what I'm talking about. But there's a part of the scene that I cannot skip over. It's the feet. Somebody in the scene, I don't know if it's Rod or Natalie, they have some dirty feet. They didn't clean their feet before the scene, so you can see the blackness, the charcoal on the bottom of their feet. They should have really cleaned their feet before the scene if they were just gonna put it in the movie. It's distracting. It's really distracting. You can see the bottom of the nasty feet, alright? I'm sorry, I just had to get this out of the way. But the feet is so disgusting. It's black. It's everything. They should just clean it off before they shot the scene so it just wouldn't be a distraction in the movie. Because I was just sitting through this movie like, okay, this scene, alright. And I just saw that. It made me forget everything else in this movie. I just was just pinpointed on that one dirty feet. Okay? The dirty foot. The dirty foot should just... They should just cut it out, alright? They just cut it. Cut it. Alright. Now we're on the best part of the movie. The best part of the movie. They wake up and the birds start flying in. The best part. The whole reason why I watched this movie. The terrible bird scene. They start flying at caw. I love this part. I love this part so much because they just start flying and caw. You can tell these paper thin birds are just sitting on the back of the screen because they're in front of They're in front of the apartment, right? Caw. Pay their paper thin. They look like they were made by third graders. I love this scene so much because it's the main reason why I watch this movie. Don't ever watch this movie in your life, alright? I love it. I loved watching it. I love sitting through this movie. Every single minute of it. The acting timing. I'm not even gonna lie. When Rod and Natalie were talking, they were talking, but they seemed like they were shot in two different periods, even though they were in the same room. It was like, hey Natalie, how are you doing? Pause. I'm doing very well. How about you? I'm doing really good. Did you see the birds yesterday? It's just that bad. They should have just, or reshoot the scene so it just wouldn't be this distracting. There's a reason why, you know what, I'm just gonna talk about this later on in this movie. After this, they run to the neighbors. Oh my gosh, did you see the bird attack? Yes, we did. And they run outside talking about, we need to run to the van because I forgot my keys. And the birds start flying out, they get clothes hangers, they start swinging them around. We're gonna talk about the audio quality in this scene. They're talking while the birds are going around, but they put in a sound effect where the birds are cawing, and they have these Dollar Tree scrap metal mics in the background, so I can't understand what they're saying. So it's like, caw, that's how it sounds. Just invest in better mics so we can understand what they're saying, because I don't know if they're bringing out important dialogue or not, because I think I had captions on, but the captions were like 10 seconds ahead, so I don't even know what they're saying. I wasn't even gonna go back and bother. So Natalie and the neighbor girl, they're both in like some type of wheat or something in the grass, and the bird attacks the girl, and Natalie starts shooting her gun, and the girl is gone. But you cannot tell me Natalie's aim was spot on, because she hit the bird, but I'm pretty sure she hit the girl too. She tries to run back and talk to Rod, and the neighbor talking about, oh my gosh, the bird attacked the girl, I had nothing to do. No, if you saw the way she held that gun and she shot it, you cannot tell me that she hit every single bullet. I'm pretty sure she hit the girl in the face, and she's trying to frame the bird. That bird did not take the girl out that quick. She just started shooting. She didn't even know she was shooting that. She was just started shooting, and she probably hit the girl because the girl would not be going that quick. I think she headshotted her. I know there's no bullet mark, but I'm pretty sure she hit her. Natalie, I found you. I caught you. You think nobody saw this happen? I saw you. The sound effects and visuals in this movie are terrible. When they're shooting their weapons, you can tell that they probably got it from an external source because of how bad the shooting sounds. And the flash in the front of the gun, it looks like a third grader put that on there. They should have just quit. They should just quit. They should just had him throw around like rocks or something. I'm pretty sure they talk during the scene too, and the sounds of the shooting is way louder than the sound of them talking. Why do they do this? Why do they do this? Huh? I don't know why they do this in this movie, but they're making me mad. They made 2 more movies, so I gotta watch them. Alright, I gotta watch them. So after the birds attacked the girl, I just skipped through the movie, alright? And Natalie, she somehow found kids. Tell me why. In the car when they're talking, the audio is still terrible. They're in an enclosed space. The audio is trash. I don't understand what they're saying. The end of the movie, the birds fly away into the sunset, and they walk out the car talking about, oh my gosh, the birds are gone. And they just stand there watching it, and they still talk, and I can't understand what they're saying. So, yes, they made 2 more movies, and this is the reason why this movie has a 1.7 rating on IMDb. It should really have a lower rating, but the CGI, the bad CGI scene probably upped the rating from a 0.5 to a 1.7. I'm gonna watch the other 2 movies. I'm probably gonna rewatch this movie so I can really get the grasp again. I will make a video on the rest of the movies. If y'all are wanting to watch this movie, I would really recommend it if you liked the movie Cats, alright? If you like the musical, the Cats musical movie, this is a better movie than that. So, I will tell you to watch this movie. Everybody else, do not watch this movie, alright? This movie is 1 hour and 33 minutes that could really just be cut down to 30 minutes because the movie could have ended in an hour and there was already 30 minutes of filler for this movie that they could have just cut out. The audio quality was terrible, so I didn't understand what they were saying. I don't know what happened. I'm about to get off, alright? This is the end of the movie. I am off, alright? I love doing this. I loved sitting through this 1 hour and 33 minutes. I didn't even sit through the whole movie. So, I've been putting off watching Birdemic 2 for a couple of days, and I finally watched it, and this movie is terrible. It is way worse than I could ever imagine. It has a 1.5 rating for a reason. It's not even enjoyable to sit through. I just started skipping. Through the movie. It was that bad. It was just that bad. The intro sequence of this movie was 6 minutes long. The last one was 4 minutes long. They added 2 more minutes of nothing going on in this movie. I was sitting here 4 minutes in. I looked over. The movie hasn't started yet. Wait another minute. The movie hasn't started yet. How do you wait 6 minutes into a movie to actually start the movie people want to watch? I can't even say people want to watch because nobody wanted to watch this movie. But let's say I went to the theaters to watch a movie that I really wanted to watch, and nothing goes on for the first 6 minutes of the movie. At that point, I'm getting on my phone. I'm breaking all the rules of the theater, and I'm just getting on my phone. I might walk out and get a refund so I can watch this on my own time and just skip through that first part of the movie. It is that bad. Whoever designed this, I don't even know what to say about you, alright? Because how do you add 2 more minutes of the movie that I already complained about in the first one? How do you add 2 more minutes of nothingness going on, It's just a man walking. Just please, stop. This movie came out 2 years after the first one. And in that 2-year time, they could have had a way to improve the things that they had, and they didn't. The audio quality is trash. The CGI is equally as bad as the first one. In 2 years' time, you couldn't get better mics. You couldn't get better producers. You couldn't do anything, That's why this movie has the rating it does. That's the reason why nobody wants to watch this movie. That's why people don't even know this movie exists. They know the first one exists because of bad CGI. This movie doesn't even have a reputation. So the man in the intro scene, his name is Bill, and he's going to a diner, which I'm pretty sure they used the same diner in the first movie. But he went there to talk to his girl named Gloria. And he's like, I'm a producer or director, whatever. And are you an actress? Because I'm making a new movie. Tells her about the new movie or something. I can't understand exactly what he says because the audio quality in this movie is so bad that you can't understand what they're saying most of the time. So I don't know what they're saying. I don't know what this conversation is even about. Besides, I'm a director. Are you an actress? I don't know what else they said. So I'm just making something up in a blank scene that I know about. I don't want to watch this movie ever again. So I'm just going to get done with this video and I'm not watching this movie again, okay? I'm not looking at this movie. I'm just going to the third one right after this. So Rod and Natalie from the first movie come in, and Natalie, what did they do to her hair, They cut it. They cut it. This whole movie, every single time I see her on the screen, I don't understand it. That's all I'm looking at. I'm fixated on that hair. What is that? What is that hairstyle? This movie came out 2013. What? That's when Justin Bieber started popping, so they just started giving everybody that hairstyle, Her hair is too short to run that style. So every single time she's on the screen, I'm gonna put up some examples. I just can't look at anything but her hair. In the movie, there's a movie that the director's making, and that's the reason why she got a supporting role, because she doesn't have main lead hair. Her hair is, I'm just gonna stop. But yeah, Rod and Natalie are in this movie too. And I'm pretty sure they're main character. I think they're supporting characters, I don't know. Rod and Natalie know Bill. That's the reason why they went to the diner, and they're talking about his movie. But there's a scene where Rod and Bill are talking, and Natalie's just staring. I'm not even joking. She's just staring, and I'm just so fixated on that part because it's so noticeable. And they're talking about his movie and how he needs a $1 million budget, and somehow Rod has that on him. He's like, here's $900,000. What? Rod is rich. In the first movie, it's been like a couple years, so that's why Natalie's hair looked the way it does. I'm just gonna stop. The CGI in this movie is way worse than it was in the first one. The green screening is terrible as well. There's a scene in the beach where the girl's in the water, and I thought her legs were CGI'd, but guess what? It was just poorly green screen, and the jellyfish is so badly CGI'd that they had a better chance of just getting a still image and actually dragging that around the screen instead of what they did. Whoever made this movie should just quit the film industry and just stop. But they didn't. They made another movie that just came out, and I'm about to watch it so I can make a third one. So don't watch this movie. The man in this movie is the same singer as they used in the last movie. But whoever wrote this song should really just quit writing songs or go practice for a little bit and then write a song, because they had a better chance at hiring a songwriter than whoever wrote this song. There's a line. He's like, star bright, gotta go far and be like a star. And he's like, girls. Please quit writing songs, because the man, I know he didn't write it. The first part of the song wasn't that bad. Whatever this part was is terrible. So whoever did that, they were on an uphill and they just plummeted. They didn't even descend. They plummeted. The only plus about this movie is that the birds look better than they did in the last movie, but the attacks look worse. So they cancel each other out. The attacks are so bad that they don't even overlap the bird on top of the people. The birds are floating over the people and they're just falling. This is terrible. On multiple accounts in this movie, I just felt like skipping. I felt like skipping through the movie. I skipped through it anyway, but I just felt like skipping through the attack scenes, but I had to look at them. But I felt like skipping through them because of how terrible they were. People are just falling out of nowhere. The birds aren't even making contact with them. They're breathing their stinking breath on the people and they're falling. Oh my gosh, they're I don't know. At this point in the movie, I just skipped through it. There is no expanding on the plot. The plot doesn't even go forward. It's just all filler and bird attacks. And the part I landed on, the birds started attacking in a movie theater, and they don't even show the aftermath of the movie theater, I don't think, because I skipped through it again. Because a movie that's so uninteresting that I just feel like skipping through shouldn't even be a movie. I'm 40 minutes in, the bird attacks don't even make me want to watch the movie. The only part worth watching is this part. 1 hour, 13 minutes, 55 seconds in. The only part worth watching in the whole entire movie, and this man is floating in the water. That is crazy. But yeah, we're at the end of the movie, and the birds fly off. That's the end of the movie. Please don't watch this movie. Whoever directed this movie, you should quit. Quit the movie industry, quit everything. Just stop making movies. Do something else, or get better at what you're doing. Don't make movies and put them out if you're not good at it. That's all I have to say. I'm out. Alright, so let me say one thing about this movie, alright? This movie came out in 2022. Like 7 years after the last one. And you're telling me that this movie got no better. This movie came out 2022. Think about this. You had 7 years to get better at making movies, and you did not get better. Do you know how bad that is? 7 years. 7 years. I can make a better movie than this in 7 years. 7 years, and you couldn't. The CGI is worse than the last one. The last one came out 2013. This one came out 2022. No, it's been 9 years. What is wrong with these people that make these movies? What is wrong with them? What is wrong? How can you not make a better movie in 7 years than you did in 2 years? This is bad. This is why this movie has a worse rating than the first one, and that's a whole decade ago. Oh my gosh, that just made me mad. I'm sorry. That just made me mad. Alright, one thing that all three of these movies have in common is this stupidly long intro scene. This intro is 4 minutes long. Why do you have a 4-minute long intro scene of nothing happening? But at least in this movie, they have some music playing, a song that they try to distract us from the fact that this movie is 4 minutes long of nothing. But guess what? It's not distracting enough for me to not notice because I'm talking about it now. This movie has a worse rating than the first one because of how trash everything is. They didn't improve on nothing. It's 2022. The CGI should not be as bad as it was 10 years ago. Alright? I'm just gonna say this. I'm getting the elephant out the room. Just get this out of my face. Just get this out of my face. I have to watch this movie, and I don't want to watch this again. I'm just gonna skip. I do not care. I'm going to the next thing. Just, let me tell you something that this movie has that no other movie has, and it's the worst thing ever. The lighting in this movie changes throughout the movie. It's dark light, dark light. How do you do that? It's been 10 years. The other movies didn't have this. This movie has this. What is wrong? What did y'all do in the post-production where it has 2 different tones of light throughout the movie? That is weird as I don't know what. Bro, why? Why? How do you do that? How do you do that in a movie? How do the other 2 movies that are equally or even worse than this movie? The first one's way better than this movie, but the last one that was way worse than this movie is still not as crazy as this. How do you do that? How do you have 2 different lights in a movie? I can barely see the man in the first half of the movie. You can say why? Because the camera's on -5,000, bro. I cannot see the movie. I have to squint my eyes to even be able to get the silhouette of the man. All right, I'm overreacting, but how? It came out 2 years ago. Keep in mind, 2 years ago. 2 years ago. How do you do this in 2 years? Oh my gosh, the first movie came out 2011, and it was better than whatever I am watching right now. I didn't even finish watching the movie, and I'm already talking. You know, we're just gonna move on to the next part, so I just don't have to talk about this part ever again. And I might have to talk about it throughout this video because I'm pretty sure this is a reoccurring problem that I don't want to talk about again, but I am because I'm getting mad. I'm getting mad at the people who make these movies. So this absolute creep walks up to this woman and talking about, oh, how are you doing? What are you doing? And she's like, oh, the seals are actually dying to ocean acidic things instead of the boats like the people are saying. But the one thing that made me mad throughout this whole scene was the audio quality and this terrible gamma thing that they be doing. This brightness going in and out. The audio is cutting in and out. I'm going to put an example right here on the screen so you can see what I'm talking about.
I'm Evan, by the way.
But whoever made this movie, I don't know what they did, but how do you absolutely do this in the post-production? How do you do this? Because I'm pretty sure when they first shot the scene, it wasn't like this. I'm pretty sure it wasn't just changing automatically. How do you do this in post-production, huh? How do you do this and still let the movie come out? If this movie came in theaters, I would be mad at whoever went to go watch it. Alright? Whoever went to go watch this movie should be ashamed. You know what? I'm trying to stop. So right after that first scene, there's a protest scene where they have a bunch of people protesting, and they have a little girl there, but I'm pretty sure that girl was not there willingly. They probably took her from her family, and they're probably looking for her right now. They forced her to stand right here in front of all these people so they can just shoot the scene, and they're probably trying to get the police off their backs, talking about, oh, we're just shooting a good scene because she wants to be here. But nobody will want to be in this trash movie production, alright? Nobody will want to sit here for 5 hours a day shooting whatever you're shooting. No, they probably get this done in one shot. They probably didn't even cut anything because the audio is so terrible in this movie. There's parts in this movie where the audio just cuts out randomly, and there's people that don't know their lines, and they just keep them in the movie. There's no way that they shot more than once. This girl, I feel so bad for her because there's no reason why she should be here. You have not even 10 years old. You have a little girl sitting here forcefully because y'all don't know how to shoot your own movie with actual people. Y'all trying to have people feel bad for y'all for this trash movie because y'all got a little girl here. Now you're making me mad. You're making me mad because nobody would want to sit here and watch this movie if it wasn't for y'all making. I don't know. Now I don't even know what I'm talking about no more. 20 minutes in, and I do not know what's going on in this movie. It randomly cuts to a shark that's in the water that they probably got off of YouTube because of how good it looks. It looks too good for whoever who made this movie to record it themselves. And then it cuts to some surfer running out the water, and they ask him, does he want an ambulance? Because he says the shark almost bit off his hand, and he says no. No? You're crying about a shark almost biting off your hand. You're running out the water in Mach 5 because you're scared, and you don't want an ambulance? You said it almost bit off your hand. Like, what is wrong with you? And then, after this, though, he's walking away, and they're saying something, but the audio is muted. They mute the audio, so it's just 20 minutes of silence, and I don't know what's going on. Alright, whoever made this movie, how do you accidentally take off an audio file out the movie so nobody can understand what they're saying? Because they say something, and this man just walks away. And if they didn't say anything, what is the point of this 20-second interval of nothing going on in this movie? What, to run up the runtime for an hour and 30 minutes in the movie? Yeah, okay. Alright, not gonna lie to you, most of this movie had nothing going on. It was unimportant. It was useless. But I skipped through the movie and I skipped to the part in the house where they're dancing and singing. And the man singing, no disrespect to the actor, could have did way better without the singing. And there's dancing, no disrespect to these two actors, but your characters can't dance, alright? They can't dance. I'm pretty sure it's just poorly choreographed and they went to like minimal rehearsals. Because I'm pretty sure the actors can dance, but the characters they're portraying they can't dance, alright? They could have did way better without this scene. And that's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. Alright, this movie has one of the running problems of all three of these movies. This studio does not know how to fix their audio. How do you meet up with two people, right? They meet up with two people and they're talking. I can't understand the girl. Mind you, I had to check if my movie audio was on full blast. It's on 100%. The sound effects in the background are louder than the people talking. Why is this a problem? The caw is at maximum volume. This girl is at minimum volume. I'm on like 10% volume the way she's talking, and I'm on maximum. How? It sounds like those trash Xbox 360 mics, alright? It sounds like those, the Kinect mics. You're talking through the Kinect. It can be better than whatever they're doing in this movie. It's 2022. The Kinect came out in 2012. How are you doing this? Why is it so bad? No, I'm pretty sure the Kinect came out a different year, and it's still better than whatever this is. The movies that came out in 2022 had a better audio production than this. The trash movies that came out before this movie had better audio production than this. The Amazing Bulk had a better audio than this. And that movie was trash. Alright? Oh my gosh. This is making me mad. How do you release a movie for the fans? No, I'm not even saying fans. For people to watch. 2022. You had a decade to get better and you didn't. This is bad. Oh my gosh. Please just stop. Don't make a fourth. Just do not make a fourth. And you make a fourth, I'm like, you know what I noticed when I was editing this? This is Rod. This is Rod. The one in the other two movies, he's been in every single one of the movies that they made. A decade time, he's been in every single movie from 2011 to 2022. He's been the person in these movies. He's the best part of all three of these movies. I cannot lie to you. If you want to watch this movie, Rod is the only reason to watch it.
Oh, let's go, Steady, for the kill us all.
The CGI of this movie is the same as the second one. And you're telling me in 9 years time you didn't improve the CGI? Huh? 9 years. And the sound effects of the weapons that they're shooting have not gotten better since the first one. The Flash is worse as the first one. They probably got it off of YouTube again. They probably got the same MP3 recording, the same MP4 recording of the Flash and the audio that they got as the first one. And you're telling me that in a decade, in a year, you haven't gotten better. You haven't gotten better. Why? Why is that the case? Why haven't you gotten better? Why is this the exact same as the last one? The birds are attacking the humans, but when they're not touching them, then the humans fall. But when they're actually touching the humans, the bird falls. How is this possible? How? How are you doing this? Why? How are you doing this? How are you making the CGI as bad as their last one? And the last one came out in the 2010s. This one came out in the 2020s. Please. It's been 9 years. Stop. Please fix it. Alright, so the movie ends the exact same as the other movies, where they're staring in the distance of the birds flying away. But the thing about this movie that the other movies didn't have was the birds are flying in 5 FPS, huh? How are you flying away in 5 FPS? Why is this a problem? The other two movies didn't have this, and the other two movies came out way before this one. So why in this movie are the birds flying away in 5 FPS, huh? You didn't have enough storage on your computer to fix this? Why? Why is this a problem? But you know what's crazy about this movie? I didn't understand a single thing going on, because I'm pretty sure there's no development in the plot in this movie. The climate change had the animals being more aggressive and being more prominent. What? You still haven't discussed why the birds are attacking these humans, unless you did in the last movie, which I'm pretty sure they just said because they're attacking each other. That's not enough, huh? You're making another movie. You're probably gonna make another movie, expanding on the plot. Why? Why is this a thing? Why? Just please stop making these movies, because it's the exact same thing every movie and you're not getting better at it. You're repeating the same thing. I'm pretty sure that as you keep doing something you should improve, but you're not improving. You're going backwards. So yeah, please do not watch this movie. This movie is worse than the first two. So if you want to watch the first two, go ahead and do that. Just don't watch this one. Alright? I don't know how you make every movie from the first to the third be worse than each other. I can see that if the first one was the absolute best movie ever, or like a really good movie. But no, the first one was an absolute train wreck. And you're telling me the second one was worse than the first one. And then the third one is worse than the second one. How is that possible? But I need the person who made this movie to know that in all these years, you haven't improved. So keep making movies, but don't post them, alright? Just don't put them out there to the public, because you're scamming your audience. If you had this in the movies, you're scamming everybody. I'm pretty sure your movie box office was like $1 because nobody wanted to watch it besides you. You went on Dollar Day to watch your own movie. Alright, this is bad. You were the only one in the audience. The premiere of this movie, I didn't even know this movie came out until I looked up Birdemic, and I noticed that they had 2 more movies after the first one. I only thought they had 1 movie, but no, you had 3. And guess what? I don't know about it until just now. This movie has a 1.5, I think, on Rotten Tomatoes or IMDb. I don't even know what it has. I think it has a 1.5, but it is terrible. All right, just don't watch it. That's it.